Eyes.
It looks like Snake Eyes has something to say.
Snake Eyes doesn't talk.
Actually...
Yeah, so me and Shane went and saw Snake Eyes last night. And, I mean, I don't want to say anything really bad about it or anything really good about it. All I can say is that when we left the theater, we didn't feel bad and we weren't upset. We got this cool poster that they were giving to people, which is a neat poster. And yeah, aside from the poster, talk about the movie. So let's delve into this a little bit. All of us knew going in that it wasn't going to be exactly like Larry's story. Larry Hammond even said that. He said that it's not going to be just like his comic book series from the 1980s. So that means it's not going to be like this, which is the best thing as far as I'm concerned for any kind of entertainment, because I'm a huge 1980s Marvel G.I. Joe fan. This is my meat and potatoes, I guess you can say. But yeah, so anyway, this isn't going to be it, and we knew that. So you can't go in there thinking, okay, we're going to get this, we're going to get, you know, everything about Snake Eyes that we know and love and all that, just because that's how Hollywood is now. They're not going to give us that. Instead, they're going to take something and try to change it, to modernize it. But whatever, okay. So anyway, we go in there, sit down, and yeah, I mean, we actually thought it was okay. As long as you wrap your head around the fact that it's not going to be the original origin story, and they're going to change how he becomes who he is, as far as his, you know, his father and all that type of stuff. Don't want to spoil it, but it's drastically different than what's in the comic, and what's in the comic is really, really good. But again, you got to put that in the back seat. So just sit back and watch it. And a few things I really did like was that the clan actually depicted a lot of morals and positive energy. And when he goes through all the phases for learning, he learns selflessness and things like that. And it actually saves his life. And I like that because it might teach some younger people some actual values. Instead of a lot of darker films now, they have a film that, you know, you go into it and the main character is supposed to be like a hero, but then he's really a villain. This one sort of was like that, and I thought for a bit it might be going down that road, and I was like, I don't really like that, because Snake Eyes is a hero, he's not a villain. But then near the middle or end of it, you kind of see, okay, he's actually, you know, he's a do-gooder, and he's learning the ropes, so to speak. But there's one particular scene I really like is when he learns from the Hardmaster at the clan. It's with the water cups, and he just assumes that in order to get the cup off of the Hardmaster, because this is a challenge, that he has to use violence. So I really like that one because in the end, it turns out that all he had to do was ask the master to trade water cups. And so he didn't need violence. So the point was that you should use any other method before you choose violence, because that's not spiritually what you should be doing, unleashing your force on other people and your will. So I mean, that's totally what Larry would have in the books, because he was always big on that. He was always big on the peacefulness and the zen of the ninja clan. Yeah, but anyway, yeah, so I liked that. I liked how when Scarlet was introduced, there was nothing cheesy about her. She actually, 4 bad guys were actually approaching her to kill her, and she just destroys them. And I like that because it shows right away that she's actually a killing machine, not just a pretty face. So that's cool, because that's how Larry would have it too in the books. And Larry's actually in the movie. He's walking in the rain for a bit, kind of like a Blade Runner type scene, pouring rain in the city. Um, so that was pretty cool. And me and Shane looked at each other for that, and we were like really excited about that one because that was like a Stan Lee moment when Stan's in all the Marvel films. So that was pretty cool. Um, yeah, there's a lot of things you can pull out of it that are okay, and um, the ending was cool because it makes you wondering what's going to happen next. Like, because obviously Storm Shadow, he joins Cobra at the end, and Snake Eyes is going to go to try to convert him back, or try to help him, um, not become a bad guy, or work for Cobra. Yeah, but if you, I guess the main thing is if you can just wrap your head around the fact that they're right at the beginning, they're going to change the backstory of Snake Eyes, and I'm sure a lot of people probably just got up and walked out the theater at that moment because they're like, this is not what Snake Eyes is. But I mean, I hate saying it, but that's kind of the way they do things now. So you either choose not to watch it at all, or you can go and enjoy the parts that were good. So, but yeah, I mean, a lot of people complained about the fighting scenes and how the camera was shaky and all that, but I didn't really see a problem with that. I thought the fighting scenes were fine, and they didn't have Cobra being cheesy at all, like in Rise of Cobra or Retaliation. They weren't goofy and cheesy, or it was pretty straightforward and pretty real how the Baroness was, kind of how she would be in the comic. Not just some gorgeous babe like in Rise of Cobra that just walks around like a model. She's more like she has an agenda. She's working for Cobra, and you get the feeling that she has quite a lot of stuff up her sleeve, and that's what Larry has in the Marvel run. She's very much like that. So yeah, and another point I was going to make is that most of the film you're actually cheering for Storm Shadow because he seems like more of the do-gooder than Snake Eyes is, because Snake Eyes is kind of trapped between being choosing right or wrong because of his backstory, or the traumatic experience that happens to him at the very beginning. That is different from his actual origin story. So it kind of, for me or for older viewers, it probably would take away from the story because you're kind of figuring out in your head, like you're trying to figure out in your head why is Snake Eyes like that, because he was never really like that. He was more kind of what we know him as from the books. So, and then everyone complains that you only see him in the suit at the end and that. But I mean, I kind of expected that because the whole movie they advertised his face, showing his face and talking and all this. So, and they in that trailer I just showed him poked fun at. That was obviously Hasbro's way or Paramount's way of saying this is going to be a movie about his origins, guys. It's not going to be about Snake Eyes with his suit and his Uzi and his swords killing everybody as a Joe with that suit on. It's going to be everything before that. So yeah. So anyway, hope you liked my talk about it. And I wasn't. We actually, me and Shane both, we weren't as disappointed as we thought. And in fact, a lot of times we were like, yeah, that's okay. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Whereas like when we watched Rise of Cobra, we're just like, no, this is not cool at all. It sucks. And so, yeah, I mean, okay, I'm done talking about that one, but I would recommend seeing it. I would recommend seeing it if you haven't seen it and you're a G.I. Joe fan. So today, displayed on the flag, I have every G.I. Joe Snake Eyes figure from the Hasbro toy line from 1982 to 1994. And I thought because of the movie and that we saw the movie that we could do a neat little video on Snake Eyes. Maybe a quicker one. I mean, I don't want to get too involved in his, everything about him. But anyway, here are the figures that we have down here anyway. And the first one is 1982 all black version from Hasbro. And this one is a straight arm edition. the same edition I had in 1982. For Christmas I got them, and I saw them in a Sears catalog, and there was a triple pack you could get. It was Scarlet, Stalker, and Snake Eyes. And I remember asking my parents that perhaps Santa could bring those three to me for Christmas that year. And I did get them, and I was really excited about that. I liked those three because they looked a little bit different than all the other Joes. They weren't just green army guys. They were a little bit different. Their coloring was different, like Stalker with the camo, and Scarlet was a girl, which I thought was pretty wild. And this guy here, I actually thought he was a Cobra at first. Well, because of his name, Snake Eyes, and of course I found out that the bad guys were named Cobra, so I thought, you know, Snake Eyes with the snake would be a Cobra. And he's all black, like a bad guy might be. But it turns out that he was a good guy, and they actually, well, I'll just be honest, they kind of cheaped out on the paint scheme back then. They wanted to produce an extra figure that wouldn't cost much money, so they came out with one that was just all black, and that was Snake Eyes, this one here. So, but it's kind of funny and ironic because he ended up being probably the #1 G.I. Joe figure of all time. He was the one that they tried to cheap out on. But anyway, he came with Uzi. You can see it down there. And he came with, it's like a explosive pack. I don't know if you can see it, if my phone's picking it up. But he's got an explosives pack around his shoulder there. And he was a really basic looking figure, but he had a lot of mystique behind him because he couldn't speak. And he was a commando, which meant that he was kind of doing like different things that other Joes wouldn't do. And just a really, really good fighter. And you can see here in the 82 catalog, there he is there. And he is beside Scarlet, who is his girlfriend in the comics. And yeah, so there's 82 straight arm Snake Eyes. And then in 1985, Hasbro came out with version 2 Snake Eyes. And I have a somewhat mint on card version right here that you're looking at. Obviously it's not mint because there's a gigantic hole in the center of it there that the child who had it obviously cut out the flag points. And that's why there's a big hole in his midsection there. But the rest of it is sealed on card and in really good condition. So I'm happy to have this one in my collection. Although it is the 1985 release, it does have the 1986 G.I. Joe lettering, which was a 3D lettering that came out that year. And the other difference was that the file card, they changed it from a peach color to the gray color, or a silver color. And but yeah, anyway, it doesn't bother me that it's not the 1985 lettering. Just the fact to have one of these still in the plastic bubble is pretty wild. You can see that it still has a price tag on it. And in 1985, it was $4.37 from Kmart. And this is a Canadian version because it doesn't say Real American Hero under the G.I. Joe at the top. And it also has French on it. It says Codename Commando. And then underneath in French, Zorro, which I always thought was funny. They call him Zorro, like like Zorro is. But yeah, he came with Timber, the wolf, which is totally awesome. And he had more of a ninja look. They decided to go down that route and go with more of his backstory from the Marvel comic with the Ninja Clan. and they gave him a sword, and still kept his Uzi, which is cool. But yeah, a sword, a backpack, and good old timber, like in the comics and the cartoon. And I was okay with him becoming more of a ninja. I thought it added to his already awesome persona. Yeah, and that was kind of before ninjas were really even all that popular. This was back in 1985, before all the ninja movies came out. This is before there was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and this actually, in a way, Larry Hama kind of started the ninja craze. But he actually knew about ninjas because he trained with some swordsmen and archery and stuff. So he knows a little bit about the clans and that. So I flipped the card back around, and it reads as follows. Codename, Commando. Snake Eyes. File name, classified. Primary military specialty, infantry. Secondary military specialty, hand-to-hand combat instructor. Place of birth, classified. Grade, E5. Snake Eyes was tempered on the anvil of life until he was as dangerous as a razor-edged sword, flailing in the dark. The G.I. Joe team sheathed that sword and harnessed its deadly energy, but even they are wont to forget that even within the safety of its scabbard, the blade retains its cutting edge. Yeah, and I really remember this card back as a kid, just because I was kind of amazed that they had come out with a new edition of Snake Eyes. And the fact that it said Zorro in the French on there, I always thought was funny. But also going to the store and looking at all the new 85 guys that came out. And on this particular card back, of course, it's an 86 card back too, with the 86 lettering. So you're going to get the 86 guys also. But yeah, I remember seeing like Quick Kick and Flint and Bazooka, Shipwreck, all these awesome new guys. But the Snake Eyes stood out because I was like wow, like he comes with a wolf, and I just really wanted that one, and I never got him. And yeah, so I know that a lot of people wanted him for sure, and I know a lot of people would have been totally happy to get him because he became more involved in the cartoon, and he really took off as a character at that point. Around 85, I think he kind of skyrocketed as a important individual in the G.I. Joe world. I mean, not that he wasn't in 82, 83, or 84, just that when this figure came out, I think a lot of people fell in love with Snake Eyes. But yeah, anyway, version 3 is here, the card back. It's a 1989, and there's the figure there. So they changed up some stuff with that. They added silver to the black, and there's all his accessories down there: an Uzi, a blowgun, nunchucks, a backpack with a sword. I think it's still a pretty decent looking figure. And there's his Hector Greedo card art. And there's a Consumers Distributing sticker on it that I like. That's like a self-serve. In the States it's called self-serve, I believe it was called. It was a catalog ordering store where you'd walk in there and then you'd write down what you wanted on a little card. Then you go up to the cashier and hand it in. And if they had it, then they'd bring it out to you and you'd buy it. But a lot of times they didn't have what you wanted. They'd bring something else out and you had to buy it. Or you could choose to buy it, especially with toys and G.I. Joe guys. But yeah, I like that Consumers Distributing sticker still on there, because that means that it was from around here. So it's a Canadian version as well. And then moving on to the next one, it's a 1991 Snake Eyes. A lot of fans refer to this as the Paintball Edition because he looks like he has a paintball mask on. And out of all of them, I'd say that this one is my least favorite. Around 91, they started making some pretty major changes, and this figure kind of indicates that. So I don't really have much to say about him. His accessories are quite weird, and I don't have them. So some kind of a red cannon thing that shoots. But when we were growing up, in the 80s, the Joe stuff didn't shoot. And I was always okay with that because it was more realistic to military stuff instead of having some kind of phony fake weapon that shoots or something. So I thought it was more of a gimmick when they started getting into that. And speaking of which, here's version. What version would this one be? 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the 5th version from 1992. It was released. It's a Ninja Force version. So it's kind of another gimmick. And it had real ninja actions called Basami Slice. So you push the legs in, and I guess he does a chop. But I like that I have one mint on card. And the figure itself looks okay. My wife always says it was funny. Like, we're always makes fun of it when she sees it because it looks like he has blue underwear. Because the rest of his attire is all black. And just his waist is blue. But anyway, back then they made some changes too to accessories, and they just painted them all one color, which is pretty lazy, but that's something that they started doing. But I got it because I wanted to have every edition of Snake Eyes from 82 to 94. So that's why I ended up getting it. And the last one made is called the Shadow Ninjas Snake Eyes, and it's released in 94. And this one had a color changing gimmick. He came this color, and then if you put him in cold water, I believe. I don't know if it's cold or warm. Maybe you guys can remind me what it is, but one of the two, you put it in there and he changes color. So that's kind of neat. But again, I mean, I'm just happy to have mint on card one. Just have every version of Snake Eyes from 82 to 94, which is the entire 3 3/4 G.I. Joe run. And obviously everybody knows that his first appearance is in Marvel 1. And here it is here. And he doesn't appear on the cover until Marvel G.I. Joe number 2. There's an Arctic mission. And there he is there. He's there with Scarlet, Stalker, and Breaker. And he's pretty much in every early comic. One of his most famous ones is number 21, the silent issue, of course, which was written all without lettering and just pictures. And it's a very famous comic and really awesome comic. And I would say that my favorite covers with Snake Eyes on them would be number 31 there, where Destro actually goes up to hunt down Snake Eyes at his cabin. Destro and Firefly. And in the movie, it kind of alludes to that in the beginning, that they're kind of up at a cabin. So, but anyway, yeah, I really like that cover. And another one of my favorites, and everyone else's for sure, is number 53. I have a t-shirt like that. And I really liked that back then. Pretty sure it came out in 86, but yeah, back in 86, because it had all the Marvel guys around it too. And to me, it was like a celebration that, G.I. Joe was actually that huge, and that Snake Eyes was considered to be in the same league or the same level as all these guys like Thor and, Spider-Man, Iron Man, Captain America, Wolverine, all those characters. And when I got that one, I was like, oh yeah, awesome. Like, Snake Eyes is right there. He's bigger than all the other characters. His picture is. And just the way he's holding the Uzi and just how intimidating he looks. I really, really love that cover. As a kid, I loved it, and I still love it now. And a lot of people, they like this one as well, and so do I. That's when he joins up with Storm Shadow, and they fight Cobra together, and they wreak havoc on him pretty good. It's an excellent, excellent story arc and excellent cover. And there's one more to mention that I think is cool. It's this one here where he actually goes and saves Scarlet. And there he is jumping out of an airplane. So, yeah, that's a number 104. And then in 2003, this Palisades sculpture came out. And it's actually a 6-inch sculpture before they made 6-inch classified guys like nowadays. This was from 2003, like I said. And I got this sculpture back then because I really, really liked that they had him in the commando look, pretty much looking just like the 1982 Snake Eyes. But they also gave him timber. So I really like displaying that beside these 6-inch 2021 Cobra G.I. Joe classified guys. And I kind of did like a neat little thing here where the Cobra infantry guys are surrounding Snake Eyes and Timber. And you kind of get the feeling that if they get any closer to him, he's gonna kill them. So, but anyway, yeah, I really like this this sculpture, and I thought I'd show this on here. But anyway, thanks a lot, guys, for watching this kind of a review on Snake Eyes, and hopefully you enjoyed my take on the movie. And okay, we'll catch you next time. See ya.